You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? Man, you guys slammed me. It's like once you found out, hey, Aaron's going to have fun. It's going to be warm in Vegas. Let's hit him with a bunch of work. But that's all right, because I'm a money-grubbing whore. This comes in response to some comments I saw in a video about criticism of Curse at the High IQ. Okay, so I had to read through this a couple times to figure out what's going on. A reader, a fan, would be a literal fan of the book Curse of the High IQ, did not like one of the reviews written in that, and he paid me to read the guy's one-star review and then to read what he said in response to this guy. And this is in response to those responses in the criticism in the comments. In the comments, someone said, why don't you voice your own Audible books? I super agree with this, especially Bachelor Pad Economics. The guy who narrates it has a flair. Did just say, let's not be PC or somewhat gay, and that's okay. You thought Davis sounded like a homosexual. That's great. I actually liked his narration, but only for parts. I think that book would have been best if they had both been narrated, trading off for certain parts. Certain parts were hilarious. Hearing Davis Arini narrate it, he gave it a certain flair to it that Clary's voice wouldn't give. But just like I was disappointed not to hear Thomas Sowell's voice when I got his audiobooks, the same went with the getting your audiobooks. I just lost a good chunk of my interest very fast. Fortunately for me, I still listened to the rest of yours. Unfortunately for me, I did not listen to the rest of his. In addition to having a brilliant mind, Thomas Sowell has a golden voice that hypnotizes and makes you want to listen more. The readers of his books do not have that voice and leave the listener apathetic, even to brilliant points that Sowell makes. I'll tell you this, another problem with having other people narrate your books is when you write it, you know what emphasis was on. You would read it slightly differently because you knew what words would have emphasis versus that. But the narrator doesn't. And so, not all the time, but every once in a while, it's like, he read it not the way I would. They read it right. But I would put more emphasis on the noun versus the verb or whatever else like that. You're no Thomas Sowell. Thanks a lot. But you have humor and sarcasm that many of us like in your spoken words. That's my question. Why not put more into audiobooks? He doesn't want me to read this stuff, then he wants me to continue on. I also think I know why he didn't narrate his books himself. He's probably like me and too busy to do it himself. Yes, that's it. An individual only has so much time to do things after writing 6 or 7, however many books. He's probably too exhausted to read the damn things back to a microphone. He's probably thinking, I wrote the damn thing, now I need a break. I want to ride my motorcycle instead of reading this thing back to a microphone. That's my theory. Yeah, it's not that I'm bored reading my own work, but I don't re-listen to my podcasts. I rarely watch my videos, and if I do, it's to edit or quality the work. But it's also time. I know what I said. I don't need to hear it again. But it is time. Now that I think about it, and because Cappy is such a whore to money, his words not mine. Aaron, how come you don't voice your own books? And no offense to Davis Arini, he was great. We all kind of sort were used to you. Those are my thoughts on this, and I actually think they make for greater conversation than this original post. Therefore, I'm going to post it on your page to see if you make a video about it. I'll make a donation, and if it's not enough, let me know. No, that's more than enough. That's very fair. Yeah, guys. Well, let me draw a parallel. I should make a separate video on this one. It's time. I only have so much time, and I promised myself that I would have fun. I would force myself to have fun. And I know it looks like it is just, oh, look, it's Cappy on the video. You don't realize how much other work I have to do. It's the triple threat. It's the writing, then it's you got to put everything on social media. In the olden days when it was just blogging, you wrote it, you were done with the post. Now you got to put this up on YouTube. Now you got to put it on Twitter. Now you got to put it on Facebook. Now you got to put it on Gab. Now you got to put it on Minds. Is it a particularly good post? Now I should probably have somebody narrate it. Now I got to read it. And I do put in probably... Well, you throw in property maintenance and all that other stuff. And I do consider working out. I consider the gym work. I hate working out. I'm probably putting in around 50 to 60 hours a week. And I insist on having fun. I did enough work when I was younger. I don't need to do any more work. certainly above and beyond the Call of Duty. I put in my time. And I saved my money, and I lived in basements, and now it's time for me to have fun. And so before I die and jettison this mortal coil, I am going to have fun, which is why if you see the Instagram, I do have an Instagram account you can follow me on Twitter, you'll see pictures of me golfing and motorcycle riding and hiking. Life is not meant to work. It's not. And I don't have expensive tastes, so I don't need to work that much. And the only reason I'm working this much now is so I can like build up a truly FU position of money and have insurance that in case the communists come, try to take all my money here in the United States, I got money overseas. And so I can start anew and not be that poor, sad story that you hear where the immigrants come over from the communist country, all they had was $5, and they got to work and live in the restaurant. No. I worked way too hard for fucking, what's the parasite's name? Ocasio-Cortez. I worked way too hard to have an inferior piece of shit like that steal my money. Right? So, that's why I go have fun in the here and now, and why I work so hard and as much as I do. So then it comes in like, do I want to record that? No, I'm not good at it. It will take forever. I make too many mistakes. My audio quality isn't that good. I'm working on that as well. It's just, yeah, you don't have the time. Thomas Sowell doesn't have the time. Thomas Sowell probably doesn't even have the time to write the damn books that he does. I barely have time to write books, especially with Asshole Consulting coming on now. And now to record books, no. You could find some very quality, talented young men and women who are much more savvy with audio editing, who do have great voices, and you give them the money. There's Kevin Sapp did a couple books for me. He was great, and then he had an emotional breakdown like all millennials. Jim Fear 138.blogspot.com. Check out Jim Fear 138 if you were looking for a narrator. He unfortunately had a stroke, and he's recovering from that. So hopefully he'll be able to do my next book when it comes out. And then you could just find some good quality people out there, and they're proficient at it, and they're actually profitable at it. It would take me forever to edit, audio, record, blah, and all I would do is end up saving myself like $1,500 for 3 months of work. No. So, all right, that's it. It is. It's just I don't have the time. If there was 36 hours in a day, maybe. But then I'd probably just want to go watch some 80s cartoons or something instead. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. See you all later. Toodles.